starting with the front of the trailer. All right, we've got the front of my trailer or header board. It is securely mounted, not bent, broken, or cracked. There's no holes, no bulges, no missing rivets. Around the side of my trailer, securely mounted, not bent, broken, or cracked. No holes, no bulges, no missing rivets. Everything's securely mounted. On top and to the rear of my trailer, we've got a clearance light and a rear marker light, as well as an ABS light. They are all securely mounted, not bent, broken, or cracked. Proper color with no moisture. I've got my DOT reflective tape. It's proper color, securely mounted, not torn or cut. Next, I'm going to go ahead and talk about my landing gear. My landing gear is securely mounted. It's not bent, broken, or cracked. All the hardware is present. My landing gear legs are in the raised position. The landing gear handles secured to the trailer, not bent, broken, or cracked. All the hardware is present. And I'd also like to take note that there is enough clearance between my mud flap and my landing gears to make turns. Next, underneath my trailer here, I've got cross members going all the way down. They are all securely mounted, not bent, broken, or cracked. No illegal welds. All hardware is present. To the back side of my trailer, we've got our frame. It's not twisted or cracked. There's no illegal welds, and all the hardware is present. Below it, we'll go ahead and start our suspension. So starting with our spring hangers, we've got one in the front, one in the rear. They're securely mounted, not bent, broken, or cracked. All the hardware is present. There's no illegal welds. Down below, we've got our trailing arm. It is securely mounted at both ends, not bent, broken, or cracked. All the hardware is present with no illegal welds. Now we'll move to the back side. So to finish off the suspension, we've got our leaf springs here. They're securely mounted at both ends. They're not bent, broken, or cracked. There's none missing or shifted. Holding them down is going to be our U-bolts. They're securely mounted, not bent, broken, or cracked. At the bottom where the nuts are, there's no shiny metal or rust indicating that they're loose. Next, we're going to move on to the braking system. We've got our brake hoses. They're securely mounted. They're not torn, frayed, or cut, and there's no audible leaks. From the brake hoses, we'll move to our brake chamber and clamp. It is securely mounted, not bent, broken, or cracked. All the hardware is present, no audible leaks. Right here, we've got our slack adjuster. It is securely mounted, not bent, broken, or cracked. All the hardware is present and is properly greased. Below it, going into the bottom of the brake chamber, is going to be our push rod. It is securely mounted, not bent, broken, or cracked. It's at a 90-degree angle, has no more than 1 inch of play. Behind our rock guard there is going to be our brake drum and our brake pad. Now our brake drum is securely mounted, not bent, broken, or cracked. There's no bluing from heat, no oil or grease. On the inside of the brake drums is our brake pad. They're securely mounted, not bent, broken, or cracked. No less than a 1/4 inch of brake pad. Now we'll move on to our wheels and tires. All right, I've got my tires, both tires inside and out. There's no cuts, abrasions, or bulges. I've got proper wear across my tread, a minimum tread depth of 2/32. Both tires are properly inflated. I would check them with an air gauge. I'd also like to mention that there's no rocks or debris between the tires, and they are properly spaced. Next, we're going to go ahead and talk about our wheel or rim. They're both securely mounted, not bent, broken, or cracked. There's no rust trails indicating that the rim is loose. Next, I've got my lug nuts. All my lug nuts are present and tight with no shiny metal or rust trails indicating that they're loose. Next, I've got my axle seal here, securely mounted, not bent, broken, or cracked. It's filled to the proper level and has no leaks. Next, we've got our metal valve stem and cap. We have two, one on the inside, one on the outside. They're both securely mounted, not bent, broken, or cracked. They have no audible leaks. Next, we're going to talk about our mud flap. Our mud flap is securely mounted. It's not torn, frayed, or cut, and has the proper height. Moving on to the back of my trailer here. We've got our step. Our step is securely mounted. It's not bent, broken, or cracked. There's no oil or grease, and it can hold my weight. We also have our DOT reflective tape. It is securely mounted. It's not torn or cut. It's the proper color. Up here we've got our bumper. Our bumper is securely mounted. It's not bent, broken, or cracked. There's no illegal welds. Next, we've got our door. Our door is securely mounted. It opens and closes properly. All the hardware is present. There's no missing panels. Next, we have our tension cables here, one on each side. They're both securely mounted, not bent, broken, or cracked, not torn, frayed, or cut, and all the hardware is present. We also have our door lock, handle, and strap. They're all securely mounted, not bent, broken, or cracked, not torn, frayed, or cut, and all the hardware is present. Next, we're going to go ahead and talk about our lights. So starting